Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network. Coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge, how you doing?
Leaders!
Sergeant!
Nobody could duplicate that voice. But anyway, I'm just chilling.
Yeah,
Just
Cock
chilling.
Tower looks like it's standing straight up and proud since the election, so that's good to see.
It's lost its flaccidity. Up wears a blue suit. He is kind of Viagra-like. Beijing Cock Tower got fucking traumatized. Yeah. Look at it compared to the stadium next to it. You know that ain't no Chinese dick in that tower. If ever a building was misplaced, there you have it, folks. You might want to build this one in Africa somewhere, but not China, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, you could blindfold the whole country with dental floss. It's crazy, bro. Holy God help us all.
Sarge coming in fucking hot tonight, right out the gate.
What the hell? Yeah. I was on, what's his name's there? I drive a Chrysler 300. What's his name? Fathead there.
Oh, Truth?
Yeah, I was on his stream the other day.
Yeah, I saw you up there, but I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, he was stressed.
It was working.
He don't come in and he's afraid what I'm going to say. And he's like a fucking, I don't even know, man. Maybe he's got a pussy under that hat. I don't know.
You made him nervous, huh?
He's scared. Buy a dog, motherfucker. I'm just going to say what I say. It's just, you know what I mean? I don't hate nobody, just all of you. So don't worry about it. It ain't personal.
Equal opportunity hater, is that?
Well, if you're going to hate, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's,
sure. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. You ever see, now, is Clue with you?
No.
Have you ever done that one-handed clap with her?
No, but I will when the stream is over or she comes in here. I will absolutely do that.
For anybody that doesn't know what that is, ask somebody, especially your partner, if they've ever heard a one-handed clap, and if they say no, slap them in the face. See how they do with a one-handed clap. It's fucking awesome, bro. Holy God.
Oh, fuck.
There's too many people are afraid, I guess. It is what it is, man.
It is.
So I titled this, what happened to the deep state? Deep state, did it ever exist? I mean, what happened to these other, it isn't quite the number they're saying, but I'm going to say, what happened to the other 10 million votes from 2020? Where did them fucking people go?
Yeah, I was wondering about that the other night, and I hadn't seen the final numbers, but I was like, it's not quite 81 to 75 this time, is it?
I think, well, it was more than that. Let me see, 2020. Election. I'll put an election map to see what comes up. If it shows us how many votes. The 2020 map. I don't think it shows us the votes. Hang on here. 270 to win, 303. Yeah, this just shows electoral votes, but my electoral map, total vote. I'll try it that way. Election map results. Let's see if CNN, they showed a fucking, they don't show, oh, I know what I should be asking. 2020 popular vote. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'm trying to find it myself, and the first article.
So Biden got 81 283, and Trump got 74 223.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2024 popular vote. Let's look at that.
I was looking for this in the first article. It comes up. It says, fact check. Trump's 2024 win doesn't prove claims that the 2020 election was stolen.
Say that again.
It says, fact check. Trump's 2024 win doesn't prove claims that the 2020 election was
Oh,
stolen.
yeah. They're going to fight back on that, right?
They're freaking the fuck out about that, aren't they? That's funny as hell. I hadn't even
It's
heard that shit till I see that. That's fucking hilarious.
well, I mean, it's not quite the amount of votes that people are ascribing to it to make their argument. I mean, they're like telling you that they won the fucking fishing competition, and for all we know, all the fish caught were minnows, and you came up with a normal fucking bass, right?
Yeah.
But they're going to come up and tell you they caught a fucking fish 4 feet long or some shit. And so, Block, what in the fuck would all of these? This is Newsweek, yeah. Oh, we're the most famous conservative news channel. Go fuck yourselves. these fucking unbelievable, bro.
The most conservative news channel.
And all they do is spam the living snot out of you. You go to their site for information, it's like being accosted. It's like fucking dropping soap in a fucking shower while you're in prison. He got 73,295. She got 68. So she's down 12 million votes
or 12
10 million votes. I think she ended up with over 70 million, though. This thing is this is an old count.
Yeah.
So here's the real thing is it's not quite 10 million, but let's call it 10 million votes. So where the fuck did the deep state go with their 10 million votes? Did they have a fucking pity party and pack up their shit and leave? Did they not want Kamala Harris as president? I mean, where did them fucking, well, just to be sensible, where do those 10 million voters go?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a great question.
Does it prove election fraud? Well, no, it's not proof of election fraud because I honestly, my personal observation is that the push in all of the states for the mail-in vote because of COVID, I seriously am convinced, based on just data, that elicited people to vote, and they were voting because they had such an easy way to vote.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that there wasn't shenanigans, and I think there's shenanigans going on in a couple of states for the race for Congress. The Kerry Lake in Arizona and a couple of other ones. There's some bullshit going on. They're trying to stop the Republicans from getting to 218 in the Congress.
Yeah.
Because then Trump would have a threesome. Not in the bed that Obama slept in either. But
oh fuck!
When you look at did you see Joe Biden talk today?
No.
Oh yeah, old Joe was right on top of his fuck. He was right with it, man. He was almost dancing like Trump.
Well,
yeah. Congratulated him. It's going to help him do his transition. He's going to cooperate. It's the American people spoken, and not the result. But he was the most joyous one of all. His wife too came out of voting in a red outfit with a smile on her face that she hadn't had since the election night of 2020.
I did see a thumbnail with a quote from Gavin Newsom, who said,
Poor Gavin.
said our rights are under attack.
Yeah, they are.
I was like, boy, this motherfucker is already just scared to death. How the fuck? What are y'all scared of? Fuck.
Well, here's the other thing too. I find it rather despicable that your right to kill a baby is more important than your right to buy a condom or take birth control. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that those issues are more likely to be discussed because I'm totally not against sex, man. I mean, anybody out here wants to suck my cock, just let me know when and where, and I'll be right over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just totally not against it. So time and place, god damn it. Yeah, I got no couth, but I was raised with no couth. I guess, some people were raised with things that others didn't get. Cletus?
And look at Sarge, he raised Cock Tower.
I raised Cock Tower. Yeah. And look how well mannered it is. Right down to them fucking licking my balls convention center.
Oh, fuck.
It's perfect for weddings because that's the only first and last time you're really going to get your balls licked anyway when you get married. So You might as well get married in a place that reminds the woman what up. Oh my God. I'll tell you though, there is something that I'm fairly excited and proud about.
What's that?
And that was because I stayed out of the normal channels that I associated with in politics for 90% of what I was doing. And I went into all these black channels and Hispanic channels. And I was in one today. These people were just some transgendered black guy was trying to get some straight black guy. It was crazy. I was like, what in the hell is going on in here? But it was funny. There were 3 women attacking the transgender. It was like, wow, this is just the most entertaining thing I've ever come across. I said, I hope it's okay to have a white guy in your audience. You know, this is like Thugville, USA, bro. It was crazy.
And I'm sure you literally did say that shit too.
Yeah. Then I was in another black channel and I realized and I forgot that Trump called the fucking COVID virus the Kung flu.
Oh fuck.
Oh, and then they went out and they said that there was this happened during Biden's time that because Trump was saying Kung flu, it caused violence against Asians, so they passed a bill for a hate law or something against Asians. But I forgot that he called it the Kung flu.
Wow.
Right? He called it the China virus, the China flu, and then he did get into calling it the Kung flu on a few occasions, and it really flipped the fucking people were fucking the left wingers, you know, the politicians were flipping out. What a racist. That's just funny as fuck, bro. Yeah, I fit right in, Lucky. I had no problem in those channels. My comments today, I was in there commenting. They were posting them up on the screen. Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. They're just people like us. Fuck this bullshit about.
Yeah, skin color and physical attributes have not a fucking thing to do with personality. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah, you're either an asshole or you're not.
Exactly.
You're reasonable or you're not. Or you could be all of that or not, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's kind of fucking funny. But here's what I want to say. By doing that, let's see here. The movement of states, right? You know, like Clinton and the other and Hillary got more than 63% of the vote in California when they ran against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And that dropped to 58%. Trump went from like 33%. Yeah, to fucking 40%.
Damn.
That's a swing of 12%. Same thing happened in New York.
Yeah, that's impressive.
They lost 12% of their vote. And this is what I was trying to point out when I was going around saying that blue states are going to flip, that they're in play. Now, none of them flipped. But when you count the amount of blue states left on the map, the fact that they're hemorrhaging votes like that to Trump,
mm-hmm.
they're swing states now.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Right?
Yeah, and if California and New York become swing states, that's a fucking that's a
disaster for the Democrats. Yeah, Trump lost New York by 900,000 votes. That's it.
Wow.
You know, and that's in 2020, he lost it by fucking 23 points. So more than twice. So he lost by 2 million votes in 2020. And this year he lost it by 900,000 votes, almost exactly. So he picked up 1.1 million Democrat votes.
Can I tell you the funniest thing I saw yesterday? It was either yesterday or today. The Iran's currency falls to an all-time low.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I bet it fucking did.
Did you see the Houthis in Africa, what they did?
No.
They surrendered. Did you see what Hamas said in Israel?
No.
They surrendered. They quit.
That's fucking hilarious.
Did you see what's happening in Ukraine?
No, I haven't.
That leader's trying to find a hole to crawl in. Did you see Putin's speech? Oh, he can't wait for Trump to officially take office, man. I think he's planning a big fucking extravaganza dinner for Trump. He's probably going to give Trump the rights to build all the towers he wants in Moscow.
And then I saw a fucking news thing pop up on I think it was on her phone earlier that said the Fed cuts interest rate by 0.25%.
Right.
Or by a quarter of a point. I'm like, God, just from a fucking just because of an election, he hadn't even taken fucking office yet.
No. And the guy's under threat that he might get fired. He's trying to stand tall and say, yeah, well, my term ends in 26. I'm staying for my term. If Trump wants you gone, motherfucker, you're going.
Yeah.
Right now the Supreme Court justices that want to retire, the old conservatives, can retire and be replaced. That's what winning the Senate means. You need Senate confirmation.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a great fight. Thank fucking God. Now and then you got to follow up with JD Vance.
Mm-hmm.
We got to put him into office, man. He's chill like you. I think you and him would get along real well. Except he didn't go in the mountains for his circumcision. He actually went across the fucking oceans and picked up some foreign lady.
Well, in fairness, I didn't have to go to the mountains. I was in the mountains. So
well, there you go. What the hell is going on? So what happened to the deep state there, Cletus? What do you think happened?
I guess the motherfucker wasn't as deep as they thought. It seems like it was about 10 million times shallower than it used to be.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that there's been someone I've known for years that have claimed that the Bidens were informants, and that in fact, it's kind of making sense now. There's no doubt his family profited along the way, but if they didn't profit and bank this money, then they couldn't have been informants from the people that were, against the people that were giving it to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you look at how sharp Biden was the last few times, especially today. If that guy was that sharp on the stage when he talked to Trump, nobody would have even thought of fucking sending him home. And I've said ever since Biden became president that was an act. That this fucking retard fucking act is an act. It wasn't real. He doesn't have dementia.
Yeah. And
when you look at his little speech today, the dude don't have dementia. The other thing he did is when that act got turned against him, right? Mm-hmm. Which I think he ramped up and started to convince them that it was no longer an act, and they decided to replace him. And he threw fucking Kamala out there without them ever knowing. He intentionally threw that fucking that. I mean, talk about beating a dead horse, right?
Yeah.
That girl, you could probably measure the amount of dick she sucked in fucking miles, right? So, I mean, 3-4 inches at a time, it won't matter, bro. It adds up.
Oh, fuck.
Miles of fucking penis for that woman to move through the system. And look, more power to the fucking penis player. But, anyhow, yeah. So I'm just curious where the deep state went in this election and why they didn't try to pull more shenanigans. They were setting us up for it. It's going to take days to count this state and days to count that state. And we may not know the results for 13 or 14 days, right?
Do you think it was, do you think they feared the repercussions if she actually would have won?
No. Well, no, they don't give a fuck. Listen, that would just give them an opportunity to kill more of us and make more fucking play trials out of us. Absolutely no.
Well, then the question would be, what if you've got this set up to fucking happen, right?
Right.
Because that's essentially what you're asking is why didn't you follow through?
Right. What stopped them from committing their fucking
right? And that's what I'm sitting here trying to think. I mean, what's the threat of the follow through?
There is no anything that were to come from them would be work for them, right? We acquiesce and go home with our heads hung low. That would help them. We jump up and start screaming and fucking yelling and fucking marching this. That would help them. It would allow them to deploy, label us what they've been labeling us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I find it a little bit fucking insane. That they're for that to have happened and gone down the way it went down is not. It doesn't contradict there's a deep state because we've seen everything happening. But I don't know what I like. Carl thinks there's something Q. Yeah, Q is fucking bullshit. That's a fucking General Flynn fucking game. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
don't
I was
I mean,
online before Q, and before Q ever showed up saying Hillary Clinton was going to be fucking extra arrested, the first fucking post in October 2017, I had already shown, or yeah, 25th, 2016, 2017, he came in. I had already shown that Carter Page had no connection to China. And the argument that Carter Page was working for the Russians was not only false, but it belonged to a company in China that was working with the Russians on that oil deal. I'd already debunked that. And it took Q fucking a year to finally come around and expose to the public that piece of information. And I had exposed it a year before. Matter of fact, Q started quoting some of my shit. Literally. My stuff was being put on Q. Stuff that I had discovered long before anybody even knew there was a Q. That was a fucking op. And I'm telling you, that piece of fucking shit, General Flynn was part of it there, Carl. So, yeah. Anyway, back to this deep state thing. When I say deep state, let's call it the bureaucratic state, right?
mhm.
The
I
people
mean,
behind the scenes.
the only thing I can think is that, you know, assuming it's there and they did have things in place, then if there is no gain for them not to act, then it has to be that they didn't fucking agree with her. I mean, I really don't see any other logical explanation. If there's no win in not ensuring Trump doesn't win, then you have to fucking be
Yeah,
against.
but look, can I just say though, that doesn't make any sense that there would be any significant objection to her presence in the office. She was part of the Biden team. They got her that position, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
yeah, I just don't see how. Listen. I think that there's a deep bureaucratic corruption within our system, but I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I don't think the deep state didn't want Kamala. I think the deep state finally realized that there were enough non-deep state people willing to blow them in. I think the Diddy operation on top of the Epstein operation were done by patriots, and the muffling of that was done by the deep state. But the fact that they all now know the names on our side of the aisle, we don't know, you and I, but people in positions of power know the names of all the sick fucks that are in the system. And I think that was one of the reasons they were able to keep the deep state in check.
Well,
Imagine the donors for the $1 billion this broad raised. They're on that fucking Diddy or Epstein list, right?
Well, and it makes me think, right, talking about the deep state and all this shit, and it didn't go the way that they would obviously have wanted it to go. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is ever since we were talking about Zuckerberg and what he did, and I've questioned, like, hell, why? Like, what was the fucking catalyst that made you fucking do what you did and basically admit to fucking treason? What was it? And I'm sitting here wondering, did he find out that they weren't going to fucking do what they always do? And he was like, hey, I better get out in front of this shit and make good before that fucking goes down.
Who are you talking about? Biden?
Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy, the guy that admitted to fucking.
I think he's trying to get in front of what's going to happen to him anyway. Okay. You know, you can't meddle in America. You can't collude with the government. There's a law in the books that you become an agent of the government when you act on behalf of the government. And therefore, the government itself and your activities are limited. Like, that Constitution doesn't prevent businesses from doing what they're doing because it's not rights that you're giving. If we had the right to fucking privacy, then the business really couldn't go across that, right?
Yeah.
So that's not what the Constitution is. It's the limit of government's interaction with us. And that's it. How we interact among each other is up to us. If you want to let people into your fucking house with cameras and fucking your Social Security, you're allowed to do that. That's the premise of the Constitution. The Constitution only prevents the government from doing that. However, when you engage a business to act on your behalf, right? Mm-hmm. Now that business is held to the rule of that Constitution because you're invariably working for the government itself, who has that limit. So, and Zuckerberg knows that. These people aren't stupid. And he's trying to get out ahead of it. And I don't doubt that he thought after Trump, was shot at, that Trump jumps up like that. I think he's pretty sincere that he realizes now Trump isn't just some fucking attention seeker, that there's more to the guy than he ever imagined. Right? I mean, his point of view is his own personal pussiness. So he just figured Trump was another pussy billionaire. And then when that happened, Zuckerberg kind of seems like he, I don't know. I don't know. Who knows with these fucking people, bro? But and then Elon, if not for Elon, he risked everything. He's risked more than any human being on earth to protect the Constitution.
Yeah, I wonder if he ever, if he ever looks back and thinks, yeah, this is exactly where I planned to fucking be. Was a member of a fucking government administration. I wonder if he ever had that aspiration. Or
I don't think he did. And,
I don't
and the only aspiration he had was to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was a Democrat supporter his whole life, up until just a couple of years ago. And he started to side with Trump, who didn't look like he was even not going to go to prison. And it was during that time that he bought Twitter. Remember?
Yeah.
No, I think that, if he's got some secret agenda, it's not obvious.
Well, no, I'm not really implying that he had a secret agenda. I'm just like, I don't get the impression that Elon ever had any type of aspirations to be involved in anything like this. And that's what I'm just sitting here like, how does he feel about that? No, knowing like 20 years ago, what was his fucking plan? What was his outlook? Where did he think he would be? To now he's about to be a member of a fucking government administration. It's just kind of a wild thought. If it wasn't something you set your sights on and you ended up there, I think I'd probably
he didn't set his sights on that. He really started, and even Joe Rogan, and I think he's got a big influence on Elon. Now, Joe Rogan didn't even want to have anything to do with politics, but Joe Rogan allowed people to show him evidence on January 6th and other different things that were called conspiracy theories. He knew COVID, what they were telling the public, was a lie, and then they tried to cancel him. That was their mistake with Rogan, right? And then Elon's Rogan's buddy, and they started then to independently look, and they formed their opinions because now they realize, wait a minute, all these things they're saying about Trump aren't true. He didn't say that the white supremacists were good people. So in other words, it kick-started their desire to know. And that's where I think Elon, now he's where he's at, but not because he had an ambition. I think he's gotten everywhere he's got because he wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that's the case, and if so, good for him.
Right. And let's hope he stays safe, because if he can go in and start fucking chopping through that bureaucracy and start spreading out to around the country, get everything out of DC. It's the richest city in the world.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a whole bunch of things, and Trump is already off to a good start. He gave a 10-point fucking list of what he's going to do immediately, day one. And I don't doubt that he'll do it. He doesn't, in other words, if he can't do it, it's not because he didn't try. Right? Like when they wouldn't let him build the wall, the Congress and the Senate wouldn't pass the fucking bill. He was clever enough that when they wrote the fucking budget for the military,
mm-hmm.
he went and sucked $800 million out of there.
Yeah,
and they couldn't stop him.
I'll have to go. I'll have to go see what he's planning to do day one. I haven't had fucking time to look. And
I didn't bookmark it. I wish I would have, man. I wish I fucking would have. But he's got a whole bunch of good things that he's going to do. But I'm still curious what happened to the deep state. And, I know a lot of people that are Trump supporters. They're still in that bullshit with Q, and they think General Flynn. They don't have the capacity to step back and ask themselves, why did General Flynn, when he asked for a dismissal of his charges, right? Why didn't he fight for the dismissal and allow the DOJ to enjoin the dismissal, which protected the DOJ from the judge? So, it's called prosecutorial discretion. They didn't withdraw the case on their discretion, which is what they are supposed to do. And then they have to explain. The judge can then question what the fuck's going on. In this instance, they're smarter than everybody. I didn't even see it coming. But when Flynn asked for a case to be dismissed, the Department of Justice says, we'd like to join the defendant in his dismissal request. And that shielded the Department of Justice from being investigated by the judge, which is the judge's right. Because the Department of Justice works for the people, just as the judge does.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where I realized that Flynn was a fucking loser that helped play this game, and all of his lies about how he was being this and how they were going after him for nothing. And was all to keep the focus on the Trump administration, Russia, Russia, Russia. Okay. And that Q operation came out, and it took him 2 years after Trump lost the election to admit that Q was some government psyop. Why do you wait 2 years after Trump lost? Why do you let all those Trump fucking voters do that for 4 years? And then hint towards it. like you guys think he's smart? He hinted that Q was real, Cletus, during this fucking process of Trump's presidency, without ever saying it was real. He would draw the letter Q in the air, or people would yell Q, and he'd wink and he'd shake his head. That motherfucker led people to believe Q was real. Meanwhile, he's being played games legally by the Justice Department, accusing him of collusion with Russia, tying him and Trump to Russia. And then at the end, when it's towards the almost very end of Trump's administration, the case ends the way I described. Fuck that piece of shit. I'll smack that general right in the fucking head, man. Man, motherfucker. You don't see anybody ever see him around Trump ever again? And you don't question that? Why isn't he pining for another position in the Trump administration? I mean, he runs around supporting Trump verbally, but where's Trump coming in supporting fucking Flynn? You don't see it at all. That's another step in the direction that makes me feel my observations of that guy are fairly accurate, if not dead on accurate. Fuck you, General Flynn, and the horse you fucking rode in on. The horse with no legs. Right? Yeah, so the deep state, something froze the deep state, kept the deep state from moving. I hope we can one day find out what that is, because it makes no sense.
No, it really doesn't.
Right?
It really fucking doesn't.
It's the most nonsensical thing that you can even imagine.
So let me ask you this. Could it be that essentially, you know, I haven't been watching the news or anything, but I've been kind of just keeping abreast of headlines and just looking at the headlines and trying to put pieces of the puzzle together, right? Mm-hmm. And the escalation of conflicts and the fucking escalation of those conflicts and the spread of them and what seems like more and more involvement, where it seemed like we were heading. Were they scared of, if she won, that there would be no fucking stopping that?
You know something? There you go. Our corrupt criminal actors, and that was something, I'm glad you said that. I was considering, is it possible that all of the people we know to be deep state corrupt actors realize that if this election is lost, they will not have any control at all. They'll be surrendering the fucking power of the nation to offshore fucking criminals. Other nations. I mean, it would have been the final fucking blow, right?
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, I personally don't feel like if World War III had broken out the way that I feel like it was building up to fucking go, that there would have been a fucking chance in hell that the United States would have stood. It just wouldn't have fucking happened.
No. You would have multiple cities in ashes, right?
Right.
There'd be nothing.
And that's what I'm sitting here thinking, is that, you know, was it not really doing the right thing, but more of a self-preservation tactic?
Yeah. I think you may be right, but I think they're going to try to take the chance to hide within the system under Trump.
Yeah.
And come back after. But I don't think that that's going to be successful, because I think what you'll find is Trump keeps his word to the limit that he can, right?
And he's handed
and he's got JD Vance to come in behind him.
And he's handed Elon a fucking a cap gun full of rat shot and said, "Go get them, hunt them down, and go get them."
Right, and it's not just him. How about JFK Jr.?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, listen, I think what JFK or Eisenhower should have warned was that, and this is what I see completely, was the philosophy of the Nazis came with them. and we allowed them to work in our intelligence services and our sciences and in our schools, and that's the course the country started to slowly fucking follow. Just look at the Democrat Party and the hate that they push.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And it's just they hate everything, and they bring up the most crazy fucking shit. They want to euthanize the babies in the womb, and I just don't understand. See, I can't feel sorry for somebody in Gaza that got destroyed by a bomb when you've yanked 40 million kids out of the womb of a mother. I don't know who the fuck, what moral authority you have to talk about give sympathy towards that child over there when you have none for the 40 million Americans you killed. Right?
Yeah.
I can't listen. I can't even have a conversation with people like that because it doesn't fit. Right? It just doesn't. If you cherish life, if you think life is that important, then I don't think that for me, both issues are sad in my heart. But to me, they have no business speaking up and telling you which side of this war is the right side and the wrong side. And that this side killed kids. So what the fuck do you care about kids? You're slaughtering them every day. I think 75 million babies are killed worldwide as a result of these people's fucking shenanigans.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's like, just shut the fuck up. You have no moral authority. But they've convinced themselves they didn't. And you could see there's some people that are they're just irredeemable. They're not going to be recoverable. They're so caught up in believing in information. That's one of the reasons why I've always argued you can't believe in a man's data. Not what they say, not what they write in a book, not what even if they've proved it scientifically to be this particular way, you still don't believe in it. Yeah. Don't surrender, and that's these lefties now you see melting down. They all want to shave their head or they're going to go on this hiatus, no men for the next 4 years. And I'm thinking most of you bitches is ugly anyway. So I mean, fucking do us a favor. No men. Don't reproduce. The ugly will fucking weed its way out. It's like the German way. Right?
God damn.
What? I'm just saying, bro. I can't help it.
Is on tonight. That's funny as shit. So.
It's fucking truthful, though. It ain't like I'm telling no fucking lie. Right?
Oh fuck. That's
fucking believable. And the worst thing about them bitches is they'll keep their mouth shut about those fucking beliefs and stuff like that, so long as you can provide them with a good living, a good income, a good home, a good car. That's the problem with women, man. You never know what they think. You'll never figure out how a woman thinks. Well, just think about where she benefits the most and backtrack from there. You'll know how she thinks. Fucking kidding me. I don't know what the fuck people think. You can't know what a woman's thinking. Clues made me see things a little different. So you can give her a little credit for that, right?
I will be sure to tell her that,
what the hell is she doing?
If you can't convince Sarge he's wrong, at least you can hang your hat on being able to enlighten him.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but look, I was wrong. I had said that Trump was going to flip blue states.
Yeah.
I'm quick to admit when I'm wrong. I don't mind. And I was wrong by only a few percent. So in fact, he almost did flip somebody's states, which is like, I said I caught a bigger fish than true. What are you going to do?
I would say part of what you said was correct. I would be curious to see what the swing was in minority vote, because you had said he was going to win a huge percentage of the black vote. It was going to be an astronomical swing. And I based on the improvements he had in like Illinois and New York, I can't imagine that you were wrong about that.
No, I think I was fairly accurate. How about Florida? Oh my God,
yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
He won one district by almost 60% that he lost by more than 60% the last time.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible. California, districts that were blue is the fucking deepest blue you can imagine. I think I showed them pictures, right? Where most of California is red now, like the rest of the country. Well, the only blue areas are the big cities.
I remember watching on election night. I kept pulling it up a couple of times, and at one point I saw Oregon show up red, and I'm like, the fuck? And then I refreshed a couple minutes later, and it was NA, right? They like as if they hadn't tallied anything, and I'm like, well, how the fuck did you have it tallied red with like 30,000 fucking votes a minute ago, and now you just removed them?
But he lost that state by the smallest margin, and from every time he's ran.
Yeah.
every single state that's blue that Trump lost, except for Washington, up top in the upper left-hand corner on Washington State.
Yeah.
And DC, and maybe a few of like Vermont and Connecticut, them fucking Bernie Sanders cocksuckers, those communists. They should go fucking move to North Korea. Anyway, aside from those states, any other blue metropolis in all of the states that are blue. I should actually go look at the state that he lost up there. And what is it, Wisconsin?
Was it Wisconsin or Minnesota?
Or it might be Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
But he made gains in every single blue district, or especially any blue urban area. He made gains of around 12% on average. And that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right? And she's right. It's where all the money is along the West Coast. Give a little fucking ass shake, Earth, and just send that motherfucker out about 30, 40 miles into the sea. Shake your fucking booty, Earth. And the rest of the state will be red that's been left behind, right? There, build a fucking bridge now there, you fucking Gavin Newsom, you sick fucking pedophile-loving motherfucker.
Well, the thing I think, about the outcome of this is I think it gives half of the country the fucking hope it desperately needed. Now he needs to go do the fucking job that we essentially elected him to fucking do. And as long as he does that, then, I think things could be better moving forward, but he's got to do that fucking job.
One of his promises is he's not going to fund schools that brings transgenderism into the curriculum. And anybody that tries to work with a child behind the parent's back for sexual transformation is going to be charged with a crime. And the school's going to lose their fucking title funding.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that. That's reasonable. Leave the fucking kids alone.
He's also going to give people that homeschool a $10,000. They could write off $10,000 a year towards homeschooling their kid. And he's going to get rid of the fucking nonsense that you can't pick whatever. You could pick whatever school you want in your area. This will free the black children from being stuck in these fucking schools that only talk about sex.
Yeah.
If you send your kid to a religious school or to a private school, then you're going to get that tax credit to do that. In other words, your tax bill that you're paying the state to uneducate your kid is now going to become yours to educate your kid.
See, and this is why I set up payment plans for taxes because, look, by 2020, filing 2025 taxes, I may get fucking money back and all of my fucking debt that I'm paying on goes away. This motherfucker may come in and slash shit back to the way it was.
Yeah, man, I envy you. What the hell? I just pay them when the bill comes due. I pay it. I'm still waiting for their response on the issue where they took my money with no reason. Okay, I'm still, I don't know. I can only imagine. I've already got 17 hours of phone working on them people. And then they said last time I talked to them about 3 weeks ago, there's still 9 weeks left on your hold. I don't know what people think, but come on, man. I'm the king procrastinator. You don't wait to the last fucking hour before the 9 weeks is up to call me. Sort that shit out. I sent them an explanation. It's so easy to see what they did. And they didn't, I can't say they did anything wrong. My tax number and my name didn't match. I get it. But that doesn't mean you could fucking tax that. And when I correct it and show you that it was just a, what do you call it? Grammatical error or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're entitled to tax me like it was money I just earned. Motherfuckers, that 30 grand had nothing to do with the fucking. You should have charged me in the 850 I meant. I earned. That's it. There's where you were entitled to the tax, not the 30 grand I invested and then sold because it looked like Bank of America was going to crash. Right? So I had 30 grand in Bank of America stock, and it looked like the banks were going to fail again because all these Silicon banks, remember a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
That's when it happened. I sold. But they taxed the whole transaction like it was all profit. It's like, you motherfuckers, who do you think you were doing that? But anyway, IRS, so yeah, I like you. You guys are nice. Help me out. You never know who's still listening, right? Oh, fuck. This is crazy, bro. But come on, man. It's like this. This takes you 16 weeks to figure out 17 hours of my time on hold.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we do live in a very fucked up time.
Well,
actually, Trump should have spent more time And so will I think JD Vance's advice for the next campaign should be, you send Trump into these fucking, if he's still healthy, you send him into those states that he didn't win. You send him into California. You take a good look at the swing states as they are today. Don't take it for granted because they're only a couple of point win. And get that on your fucking campaign board. But send Trump into California. Send him into New York and New Jersey. And that I think you can actually, if the two of them, especially if Trump is capable, I think those two of them could make a lot of these different blue states become red states.
Yeah.
Especially if they get the accomplishments done. So he did say he had 10 things that were pretty interesting what he was going to do. With the Department of Education, with homeschooling, with school choice. Yeah, and then the leader of the Fed that cut the rate, he's acting like he can't be fired. And I don't even know, man. What I would do is I wouldn't fire the guy. I would change the locks on his office every other fucking day. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I would fucking take his nameplate and fucking put it on there upside down. I would fucking take his parking spot away. I wouldn't fire the guy. Not even close, bro. I'd fucking put a janitor's closet right across the hall from him with dirty fucking toilet brushes.
Well, just give anybody that is his staff or assistant to him another job and fill his office full of these people that are out here fucking protesting because Trump won, and say, here, you want to stay? Here's your fucking staff. Deal with it.
Yeah, you just slowly just irritate the guy to quit.
Yeah, you find the most annoying.
That's how I used to get rid of people, and they didn't know. I was making sure they didn't collect their unemployment. But this is more than 30 years ago, and I'm protected, I think, by statute of limitations. So go fuck yourselves out there, okay? Anyway, yeah, but that's how you get rid of people. I used to go to a file cabinet when a customer would come back with some stupid complaint. Like, you were the last people to work on my car, and a week afterwards, I had a flat tire. What? We did your transmission, bro. Yeah, but you had to take the front wheels off. It's front wheel drive. I go, over a week ago. Hang on a second. Let me check the file cabinet. You got the paperwork? Now let me get it. And I'd turn around, and it was right in that office. I'd open the cabinet. I'd start going through it, and I'd say, what a fucking asshole. And they'd be like, what? I go, my fucking secretary that comes in after hours to do my filing, she can't get anything in alphabetical order. It's a fucking joke. What a douchebag she is. But I was calling them those names. I was saying it to them, technically, right? Fuck you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, there is a story that they're going to be taken away, and this is going to be a problem, man. If you're worried about war on the continental soil, New York is saying they're going to take away the benefit card from the illegals, their food benefit cards.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to cause?
Yeah, it's going to cause some fucking issues. So, in other words, you're going to take away the ability, the comfortabilities that you provided to fucking, not entirely,
bait them bitches in here. Yeah,
a lot of fucking criminals, a lot of fucking murderers, a lot of fucking rapists. You're going to take away their ability to be comfortable and let them get fucking angry. Yeah. That's a smart fucking move.
Yeah, that's fucking. And Trump alluded to that at the end of his campaign. I don't know if you noticed that. When he was talking about, I can't imagine why they would want to bring in that many millions of people, that many of working age males.
Yeah.
And they got nothing. They don't speak the language. And then he started wandering into, they took over apartment complexes. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's not stupid. He knows the potential of danger that those people. And he did say that. He said they shipped an army into our country.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a real fear.
Yeah, I did see a headline today where he said he said there is no price tag on his deportation plan.
Whatever it takes, right? I'm
like, this motherfucker is coming out the gate strong. That shit's funny as fuck. He's sergeant this shit is what he's doing.
You know what's funny? Do you know who we owe that $36 trillion to?
I saw.
Hello?
Well, fuck this time.
I don't know. You hesitated. Huh. I didn't boot him, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened. Here he is. Add the stage. Hello?
Yeah, my phone rang. I fucking froze everything.
Oh. Do you know who we owe the 36 trillion to?
Well, I remember looking into this not too long ago, and almost all of it was ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Fed, bro. What that?
Yeah.
Right? What that?
Yeah.
And that interest, where does the interest go?
Yeah.
It goes to these big corporate banks. Right?
Yeah. Well, the last time he was in office, I wrote I wrote a letter to the White House about a fucking issue that was pissing me the fuck off, and within 3 weeks it was over. So, Sarge, maybe you should get to fucking typing.
Oh shit. Where are my fucking fingernails down? I just had a manicure too. God damn it.
Wait till inauguration day, but then after that, you probably should start fucking typing. You may get a cabinet position before it's all said and done.
There you go. I just need a fucking chair outside the White House. I don't mind. I decided I am going to get a dog, a female dog, and I'm going to name it Kamala.
He does need to hire you as the press secretary. I could fucking see that all day. You would be the most fitting press secretary for Trump that ever fucking existed.
Come on now. I would take the job. I mean, some of it you got to read from notes. I wouldn't object to that at all. But when people ask me some stupid, hateful question, they're not going to like the response.
He would put you in that spot too because he fucking hates the fake news. And you would be just the asshole for him to put in there to.
I would ask people like that, like do your parents even still like you? Where did you go wrong? What happened to you? Your parents could not have taught you this. You got to stop rebellion and grow up. I wouldn't even need to swear. I would just take them right apart. Yeah. Come on.
You would say the best thing that our president ever said was that to hit him, they'd have to shoot through all of you fuckers.
Right. I'll stand to the front of the line if I need be. I don't mind. It's only a bullet. I've seen worse, right? Like that fucking knight from that one movie there. What's that movie there where the knight loses his arms and gets turned into a stump and he claims it's just a flesh wound?
Oh, fuck.
That shit was stupid.
That Mel Brooks thing. What was the name of that?
I don't think it was Mel Brooks. It was history. It wasn't History of the World. It was come on, you guys know where the guy was the king of England and he pretended to ride on horses and they banged coconuts together to make the sound of the horse hoof. What was the name of that movie? It was stupid funny. Then the holy hand grenade. That shit. Oh my, that rabbit that could kill fucking legions of men.
Oh fuck!
Oh shit, Monty Python. That's it. And the whole
Mighty. That was Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks wrote all those, didn't he?
I don't think he did. I don't know. He could have. They were British. They weren't American.
Oh,
those were British creations. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
that was ridiculous, man. That movie was. That's an all-time. If aliens want to know us, they need to watch that one first. Holy shit! They'd be like, we better not hang out here. It looks dangerous. They're fucking rabbits are killing people.
Oh fuck!
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting 4 years, and there's videos of people that are taking their yard signs down, and people saying them, there's better days ahead or something like that. They're just people ribbing them for taking down their Harris signs because Harris lost a lot. And there's the majority of Democrats, I don't think, are melting down.
Yeah.
But the paid protests are starting to form in different cities.
Yeah, I saw a little something about that today.
They started in Portland.
Yeah.
And the cops immediately went in and took it apart.
Yeah.
Immediately. They're not going to let them do that shit again.
No. Well,
and Trump now will stop sending you fucking federal funds if you're going to let people do that. He's already said that. These states that want to, like this one woman saying, we're our sanctuary cities, he's not going to intimidate us. And Trump's already said, if you're going to have sanctuary cities, we're going to stop sending you federal funds. So yeah, he's going to be a fighter. And I think as people benefit from what he does, more and more Democrats are just going to be like, you know what? We were wrong. We now need to move to the right.
Oh, that's
What do
fucking.
you-
I had no idea the headlines you were talking about at the beginning of this. All that shit has fucking happened. It's like the fucking. It's like it's like people came home, turned the lights on, and now all the fucking cockroaches are scattering.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, fuck, as Americans, we woke up and stepped on a fucking Lego when they elected that fucking guy, Biden. The fuck is that all about, bro? That's a crippling fucking experience. You don't need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
And then-
I may actually watch the fucking watch the movement of the government for the next 4 years now, because it reinstills a little bit of fucking hope.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Look at this. So, just so you guys know, I went to Barnes and Nobles today, and I asked the clerk if they had Trump's new book on how to deport illegal immigrants, and she looked at me and was like, "You better get the fuck out of here." And I go, "Yeah, that's exactly the book I'm looking for. Do you got it in paperback?"
That's fucking great. That's fucking fun.
All the criminal cases are being dropped on Trump from everywhere.
Yeah, I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw the thumbnail about the judge considering throwing out the hush money conviction, and I'm like, wow. And I saw another one. One of the favorite ones I saw today was that fucking attorney, the one in New York,
Letta James up here in New York,
Yeah.
the big fat ugly black lady with a crooked eye.
yeah, said she better be careful with her lawfare, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Listen, the Mexicans have already attempting to stop any caravan from moving through their territory.
Wow.
They're terrified of Trump's fucking his tariffs.
Oh,
A lot of Americans don't know that was the only funding the American government was allowed when it was stood up. Did you know that? That's it. The only fucking money the government could earn was money they earned on tariffs. Period. They couldn't tax an American citizen or put a tax on a product. They had to tax foreign nations to do business here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money in the world. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. No, I can't argue that.
I do. Don't you think that'd be a good name for a female dog, Kamala? What?
Except I would never say Kamala come.
No,
I would never fucking say that.
Yeah, that
I
would be a
couldn't
different.
fucking say that.
Look at Trump is saying he wants the immediate resignations of any of the military commanders connected to the withdrawal in Afghanistan. Immediate. This guy, the first day, he's going to do his whole 4 years. Not then what? Then what's he going to do? Go golf?
Oh fuck!
It's insane, bro. And then Trump's lawyer came out today. I should play this. Hang on a second. I should present this. Hang on. Is it going to play? This you're going to enjoy. Present, screen share. Share. Watch this.
James, the New York Attorney General, I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy. I promise you that. So think long and hard before you violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other Americans. It's not going to happen again.
We've been warning people on the show, Mike. This isn't the same Trump administration. Stop messing around. Don't rig elections. Don't illegally vote. Don't try the funny business, because we know the team this time, and they are not effing around.
Just say this to Big Tig
It's
James,
fucking
New York
funny,
Attorney
man.
General. I dare you.
I dare you.
To try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison.
I just love the fact that that's captioned. We will put your fat ass in prison.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me? We live in the fucking real world again. Right?
Oh,
The
it's
real
fucking
world
awesome.
is back, bro. We don't want to fuck with anybody, but if you're gonna fuck with us, then we're just gonna multiply and show you fuck around and find out is coming back, right?
I'm telling you, man, that's the fucking slogan for the next 4 years. I think. I love it.
Listen, Mexico has acquiesced. The Houthis have acquiesced. The terrorist Hamas have acquiesced. Ukraine has acquiesced. I think NATO is next. Mexico acquiesced. I think the Federal Reserve acquiesced. They come out, he's not even in office. They cut the rate.
I saw something today about fucking something in Germany fucking with their government fucking collapsed today. I'm like, God Almighty, like fucking Trump winning the election, fucking just.
Putin came out today. Did you see his speech?
Who?
Putin.
No, you had said something about it earlier, but I didn't see it. No,
bro, that dude, that's a smart motherfucker. I wish I spoke Russian and could have a conversation with him. Because he's a history genius. He understands all of the conflicts and all of the reasons that we fight and all of the bullshit that goes on from going back hundreds of years. And he puts it together in an evolutionary basis and how he explains history and how we've gotten to where we've gotten. And the things that the hegemony of the West, who thinks they can control the world, is going to have to finally come to a reckoning to realize that we're all in this together.
Yeah,
quite interesting to listen to him. Cuba had a total blackout. Yeah, it does, Carl. He does. That Benny does take forever, and he sometimes beats a dead horse, but we all do that. So I catch him on Twitter, but I thought that was awesome that he had that shit with that lawyer from Trump. We'll put your fat ass in jail.
Yeah, listen here, sweetheart.
That's just epic, bro. I mean,
oh fuck,
it's just too fucking funny. And these women thinking they're losing their rights. They haven't lost any of their rights.
No.
And if you can't, and abortion is some kind of wild fucking right. Maybe the conversation should get back to birth control.
Well, and I mean, it's your rights never take away your responsibility, and
Correct.
That's what they're mad about. Is that they've lost their they've lost their ability to be irresponsible. And I mean, people can get fucking offended about that point of view, but you can't argue the fucking logic of it. That's the only reason you could possibly be upset about
Correct.
that. Is
And I
because
think
you
that's
don't
why
want the responsibility of fucking.
Trump got 2% more women last time than 2020. In 2020, he got more than he got in 2016. So even more women voted for him than they were claiming. The women vote is going to go Kamala. She was going to beat him with women by 14 points or something.
Well, I bet it's a boot camp for the Democratic candidates in fucking 2028. Rule number 1: don't come out and say you're black when you're not.
Yeah. Well, there's a stream that I pay attention to where California brought up this issue of reparations and kept it going. And the blacks just got all furious about it. And then they connect that in California to the billions given to the illegal immigrants. And their argument is a fair argument. If you'd have just given each of us $5,000 and not brought the immigrants in and given them tens of thousands, this issue would be gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we've argued against reparations, but in the end, we've paid that in spades to people that don't even belong here.
Yeah.
So, some of these arguments that we've been used, and they've used us to pit each other against ourselves. The behavior of those that created the argument, the government essentially, are just, I don't get it, man. I just never understood. I guess when I got off drugs all them years ago, I realized that to just be honest is the easiest way to live, whether you like it or not. Okay. Yeah. And otherwise, you probably could enrich yourself by lying and cheating and stealing. As long as you're not, fucking blowing it down with drugs. As long as you don't Hunter Biden your money, you could become wealthy being a fucking criminal. I get it. But man, as politicians, you would just think that you could become much more wealthy and much more people would be much happier. I mean, and I think that one of the first thing is they should raise these people's pay to $1 million a year. Right?
Who?
I really, the politicians, these people should get paid serious amount of money from the public. Because we're not paying them serious. You pay them $170,000 a year. They're responsible for your wallet, right? No. There's 435 members there. Give them $1 million each. 435 million a year. And here's the deal. They would be so much quicker to be chastised and attacked by the constituency that votes for them if they're starting to do shit that doesn't work for the country. More people are going to want that job. It would inspire more people to want to get that job.
I can't argue with that. That part I can't. I got no argument for. The other one.
Imagine
The
Clue
other
being a
parts
congresswoman.
Huh?
Get Clue into being a congresswoman.
Jeff Bezos would be fucking extremely grateful if that were the fucking case and they paid that much.
All right, yeah, maybe that. Well, what she does with her money is none of our business. As long as she's not lying and cheating and sleeping with the fucking, the deep state.
Yeah.
Let her spend her money wherever the hell she wants. None of our business. Just pass laws and bills and assign priority to things that matter.
Well,
yeah, Trump said he was going to bring in term limits too. And part of the 10 things. I'm starting to remember them as we talk. And they're civil servants. But again, the civil servant, one of the reasons that motivated people early on in the nation was they got a great retirement and didn't make that much along the way. I think we should be a little bit more mature in the modern world, right? I mean, we want our representatives to be well fucking rewarded if they're doing a good job.
I wouldn't be. So here's how I would say it, right? And this is probably overcomplicating it, but I wouldn't argue with voting on a bonus at the end of a term.
There you go.
They let the constituents decide should the person they elected get the bonus of $1 billion.
There you go.
Okay
I think that's a great idea. Some form of that, because after all, they do work for us, and we live in the wealthiest, most productive country the earth has ever seen. And I don't think that you should be fucking paid like a fam. I don't know. I think you should be paid very, very well, and you should be respected until you don't deserve it, and then you get outed.
Well, and I think you should be paid for performance, though, right? And that's where I think the safety net of the bonus at the end of term comes into play. Because if you don't fucking do a good fucking job for the people that put you there, you get fucking nothing. You get what they gave you. So, yeah.
Right. And then people that want to run, I think it should be taxpayer funded. But anybody that runs is going to have to come forward with 100,000 verifiable supporters.
Yeah.
Right. And then the taxpayer money will be used for you to campaign against the other people that came in with 100,000 supporters, and you whittle it down to one person. That's your party's nominee, and the other party do the same thing. And the money be equally distributed amongst the fucking candidates and the people involved on both sides. Nobody gets an advantage monetarily. If you're smart and you use it properly, bam. Look at Trump. He used $400 million and won. And then he's done this now 3 times. He's used half the amount that anybody's ever used against him. And he's been pretty successful. So, yeah,
we're at an hour 8, and I gotta get off here and walk the dog. Kamala, come.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be having second thoughts about getting the dog and name it Kamala. Although it is kind of a funny name. Come here, Kamala. I think I still might do it. It's kind of an adorable name for a dog. What the hell? Ask Meatloaf. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. There you go. Yeah, so where did the deep state go? Where did these votes go, folks? Were they there as a result of the in-your-face cheating and arguing that anybody that picked up any of these ballots could vote? Is that how they were able to accomplish this? Or did they tamper with the machines to gain that kind of an advantage? And I don't know that could be accurate. I know they tampered with the machines to some extent. And that may be, let me just say this may be why the deep state didn't act. It just dawned on me on why they probably were unable to save themselves. First of all, their candidate was never going to have the votes available to them that Biden had, and it was like it was a known. They knew that themselves, even though they didn't put it out to the public. And they also knew that a lot of people were moving to Trump from their own Democratic districts. So maybe, just maybe, they didn't think they could sell the fucking idea that she outdid them, especially with all the publicly acknowledged discrepancies with Latinos and with blacks. It may be that they didn't deploy because it was not going to be something that they could make believable. But again, I don't really see them caring if you believe it or not. That's the other thing where I'm tossed on this, where I think the majority of the cheating in 2020 came from the COVID cheating, the blatant fucking ballot fucking saturation. I think that's where those other voters are, that they're people that just normally wouldn't come out and vote. But given such an easy path to vote, they came out and voted Biden. So who knows? All we know now is Trump's got all this shit going on. He's got his lawyer telling that fat ass lady you'll end up in jail. And that's just what we need. If the country needed a father, maybe he can be the father figure they need. And we will become successful again. All right, folks. What did Lucky say? They showed their hand and the world was watching. That's possible. The people we claim we live in a simulation might be onto something. That's possible too. And Meatloaf is dead. That's true too. And I do love meatloaf. As a matter of fact, maybe I have to see if I got some I got ground beef in my freezer. Not Hamburg, but ground beef as it's properly ascribed to be. A Hamburg is the product of ground beef. You all be good.